Today we're going to talk about pronouns. Pronouns may seem like a pretty simple and easy topic, but I think you'll be surprised at just how much there is to know about them. A reminder of the basic definition of what a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. We might note here, though, that you should always state the noun before you replace it with a pronoun. Pronouns are one of the many ways that we use to simplify our language. We don't like the way it sounds to say Justin is going to Justin's house, or Mary is looking under Mary's desk. We prefer something simpler. Something like Justin is going to his house, or Mary is looking at her desk. Sounds much better to us. Remembering that a pronoun always replaces a specific noun, which you should have already stated, you should also remember that pronouns must agree in number with the nouns they represent. For example, in the sentence, one of the girls in my class broke her ankle. The pronoun her is replacing the noun one, not girls, because girls is the object of the preposition. We're replacing the subject. So one of the girls in my class broke her ankle, not their ankle. All of the students ate their cookies. While all is the subject, students actually tells us whether it's singular or plural. It's one of a group of 5 words: some, any, all, none, most. Those are the only 5 exceptions when the object of the preposition actually matters to the verb and the pronouns. So here, all of the students ate their cookies. And the last example, when a person is caught, he or she is sent to jail. I know you want to say they are sent to jail, but that would be incorrect because you referred to a person when a person is caught. A person equals one. You do not want to replace it with a plural pronoun. Here are some words that tend to trick a lot of people. The words one, body, and each. Are those singular or plural? Now when I say one and body, I'm actually referring to any word ending in the word one or body, such as everyone, or no one, or someone. Everybody, nobody, somebody. Is everyone singular or plural? Words ending in one, such as everyone, words ending in body, such as everybody, and the word each are always singular. To check yourself, you might replace those words with he or she. Those are very tricky to a lot of people, so be careful and remember that one, regardless of what it starts with, such as everyone or no one, either way, one is one, singular. Everybody, nobody, anybody, those are all singular as well, and the word each is always singular. Even if you're talking about each person in the whole world, you're still talking about one at a time, so it's singular. Here are some examples of one, body, and each used in sentences. Someone should buy herself that car. Everybody in my class forgot his or her book. Not their book. Everybody in my class forgot his or her book. Each book had its cover stamped, not their covers. Each book had its cover stamped. No one could find his or her class, not their class. No one refers to one, so his or her are the appropriate pronouns. And last, each of the cheerleaders took her turn, not their turn. Even though you have cheerleaders, you're talking about each of the cheerleaders, but each is the subject, which refers to one at a time, so it's singular. Pronouns are often subjects, and you need to use subject-verb agreement just as you would with any other noun that was a subject. When this gets tricky, though, is that if you could use a verb after a pronoun, even if you don't, the same pronoun is used as if you did. Just like we sometimes have an understood you, Sometimes we have understood verbs and they make a difference. For example, consider what you think the right answer would be in these examples. My sister runs faster than I, or my sister runs faster than me. David finished his homework before I or before me. Sheila will arrive sometime after I or after me. All of those sentences actually have an understood verb at the end, and whether or not you say that verb, you use the same pronoun regardless. The first one, my sister runs faster than I do. You would not say my sister runs faster than me do. But it's likely that you wanted the answer to be me. Sorry, it was wrong. If you think that it sounds terrible to say my sister runs faster than I, just put the verb on it and you don't have to worry about it. The second, David finished his homework before I, because David finished his homework before I did. And Sheila will arrive sometime after I, or Sheila will arrive sometime after I do. Words serve certain functions in a sentence. Pronouns serve certain functions in a sentence. You should recognize what those functions are. Sometimes pronouns serve as a subject in a sentence, the subject of a verb. Other times they serve as objects, either the object receiving action from a verb or the object of a preposition. Subject pronouns are always subject pronouns, period. We don't mix them up. We don't combine them. Subjects are subjects. Objects are objects. Subject pronouns include I, he, she, they, we, and who. Object pronouns include me, him, her, them, us, and whom. Some of these may seem obvious, but here are some examples. I will be home late. Of course you wouldn't say me will be home late. He slept in. She invited me to a party. We are leaving tomorrow. They are working late. For some reason, confusion with pronouns often arises when combining two or more pronouns. For example, he will be home late. If he's coming with me, he and I will be home late. Some people like to say things like, him and me will be home late. Doesn't really sound good, and you know better, but you've probably heard people say that, haven't you? Or, she and I slept in. Not her and I slept in. Not her and me slept in. It's a subject. You need two subject pronouns. Not two objects, not a subject and an object, but two subject pronouns. Combining pronouns does not change which pronoun to use. Say each sentence with only one pronoun. The same pronoun is used if the pronouns are paired with it. So, he will be home late, I will be home late. He and I will be home late. Remember that objects can either be objects of a preposition or objects of a verb, receiving action from a verb. Here are some examples of object pronouns. Some friends are going with me. With is a preposition, so it has an object of a preposition, and me is an object pronoun. The teacher talked to him. To him, again, is a prepositional phrase. It is hard to surprise her. Her is the object of the verb surprise. That is just between them. Between is a preposition, so between them is a prepositional phrase. And they couldn't get around us. Around us is a prepositional phrase. Again, combining the pronouns does not mean that you can change whether it's a subject or an object. If you're going to have two pronouns, you're either going to have two subjects or two objects. never a subject and object together. Some friends are going with him and me. Never him and I. The teacher talked to her and me. If you would say one, you would say it with the other. The teacher talked to her. The teacher talked to me. The teacher talked to her and me. You would not say the teacher talked to I, so you would not say the teacher talked to her and I. That is just between them and us. Between is a preposition that's often confused. Have you ever heard someone say that that's between you and I? I is a subject. You cannot have a subject of a preposition. Between is a preposition. So between you and me, between him and her, between them and us. Don't ever use subject